Listen closely, my dear brothers and sisters, because what I am about to share with you, if truly understood and embraced, holds the power to safeguard the most sacred bond in your life, perhaps even saving it from a silent, slow destruction you never saw coming. This isn't just another message. This is a profound journey into the heart of trust, patience, and divine wisdom that could reshape your entire mindset, transform your marriage, and by the permission of Allah, secure your standing in the hereafter. Many live their entire lives doing one specific thing, believing it to be a harmless quest for peace, only to find it unraveling the very fabric of their homes. If you are struggling, if you yearn for a marriage filled with tranquility and blessings, then this message is for you. Don't let anything distract you, because missing these profound insights might mean missing the guidance you desperately need. And if you truly love Allah, if you want this message to reach every struggling soul, then take a moment right now to comment "I love Allah" below. Let's make this a beacon of light together. My beloved brother, my dear sister, I speak to you today not as a judge, but as a fellow traveler on this path of life, one who understands the whispers of doubt, the pangs of insecurity, and the overwhelming desire for peace and certainty in a world full of unknowns. We are all human, frail, and prone to moments of weakness, moments where our insecurities get the better of us. And in this modern age, with devices that hold entire worlds within their screens, a new insidious temptation has emerged, one that promises clarity but often delivers only chaos. The temptation to breach the privacy of your spouse. I know the thought has crossed your mind perhaps even more than once. The little voice that says, just a quick look, just to be sure, just for peace of mind. But what if I told you that this very act, driven by a desire for reassurance, is one of the quickest ways to erode the foundation of trust, to sow seeds of suspicion where love once blossomed, and to invite discord into a sanctuary meant for serenity? The first and most crucial reason, my dear ones, why you must resist the urge to scrutinize your spouse's phone is that it demolishes the very bedrock of your marital covenant, trust. A marriage built without trust is like a house without a foundation. It may stand for a while, but the slightest tremor will bring it crashing down. Allah Himself, our Almighty Creator, designed marriage as a garment for one another, a covering, a source of tranquility. How can there be tranquility when suspicion lurks, when every ring, every notification, every private conversation becomes a source of anxiety? Trust is a fragile, delicate thing, painstakingly built over years through shared experiences, promises kept, and vulnerabilities embraced. When you invade your spouse's privacy, even if you find nothing, you communicate a powerful unspoken message: I don't trust you. And once that trust is broken, once that seed of doubt is openly planted, it is incredibly difficult, almost impossible, to nurture it back to health. Imagine how it would feel if your spouse were to secretly delve into your most personal communications, your private thoughts, your innocent exchanges with others. Would you not feel violated? Would you not feel betrayed? The very essence of companionship, of being each other's confidant and protector, begins to wither in the arid desert of suspicion. Consider the profound wisdom in the teachings of our faith, which emphasizes respect for the privacy of others, even in the closest of relationships. The second reason you should never check your spouse's phone is that it is a breach of their fundamental right to privacy and a manifestation of spying, which is strictly forbidden in Islam. Our beloved messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, taught us to avoid suspicion, for suspicion is the falsest of speech, and not to spy on one another. Even if you are married, your spouse retains a personal space, a private realm that should be respected. Marriage grants you intimacy, companionship, and shared life, but it does not grant you absolute dominion over their personal thoughts, their innocent friendships, or their individual communications. When you snoop, you are essentially engaging in tajassus, the act of seeking out the hidden faults of others, peering into their private lives. This is a disease of the heart that leads to contempt and bitterness. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, knows the destructive power of such actions, which is why He warns us in His glorious book, "O you who have believed, avoid much assumption. Indeed, some assumption is sin. And do not spy." This verse isn't limited to strangers, it extends to those closest to us. Imagine a world where everyone constantly spied on each other. No peace, no confidence, only paranoia. Your home, my dear brother, my dear sister, is meant to be a haven from such anxieties, not a breeding ground for them. What I am about to share next might shock you, but it's a truth many ignore. The third reason to avoid checking your spouse's phone is that asterisk, what you find might be entirely misinterpreted, leading to unnecessary pain and conflict. Our minds, fueled by suspicion, are masters of weaving intricate narratives from fragmented pieces of information. An innocent conversation with a colleague, a friendly emoji, an old message from someone they knew before marriage, all can be twisted and distorted by a heart already predisposed to finding fault. You might stumble upon something completely benign, something taken out of context, or even something from years ago that bears no relevance to your present relationship. Yet, in your heightened state of anxiety, your imagination will run wild. You will create scenarios, build entire arguments in your head, and inflict immense emotional pain upon yourself and ultimately upon your spouse. You will confront them with accusations based on your own interpretations, forcing them to defend themselves against phantom charges. This creates an environment of defensiveness where genuine communication breaks down, replaced by arguments born from baseless assumptions. Is that the kind of peace you truly seek? Is that the kind of relationship you want to cultivate? A relationship where every interaction is viewed through the lens of potential betrayal? Furthermore, consider the profound emotional toll this act takes on you, the one doing the checking. The fourth reason why you must shun this temptation is that it erodes your inner peace and feeds a cycle of suspicion that consumes your heart. Every time you check, you are essentially seeking out trouble, inviting anxiety into your life. Even if you find nothing, the relief is fleeting, replaced by the nagging thought, maybe they deleted something. The cycle of doubt only intensifies. You become a prisoner of your own suspicions, constantly on edge, constantly searching for evidence, constantly living in fear. This constant state of unease saps your energy, dims your light, and prevents you from experiencing the true joy and blessings of your marriage. Your focus shifts from appreciating the good in your spouse, from nurturing your connection, to meticulously scrutinizing their every digital interaction. This isn't love, my dear ones. This is a slow spiritual poison that corrodes your heart and mind, leaving you restless and unhappy. Remember, Allah is the all-knowing and He sees all things. If there is indeed something amiss, trust in His plan, trust in His wisdom, and seek His guidance, rather than resorting to means that further complicate your spiritual and emotional state. Most people ignore this, but it changes everything. The fifth reason this act is so detrimental is that it sets a terrible precedent and invites reciprocal behavior. When you violate your spouse's privacy, you implicitly open the door for them to violate yours. Even if they don't do it immediately, the seed of permission has been planted. You have communicated that this behavior is acceptable within your marriage. Imagine living in a home where both spouses are constantly checking each other's phones, monitoring their messages and scrutinizing their online activities. What kind of atmosphere would that create? One of mutual distrust, fear, and resentment. It's a race to the bottom where privacy ceases to exist and genuine intimacy is replaced by a cold war of surveillance. Our faith teaches us to treat others as we wish to be treated, to uphold justice and fairness in all our dealings. If you would feel hurt, angered, or betrayed by such an intrusion, then how can you justify inflicting that same pain upon your beloved? Building a strong marriage requires mutual respect and a clear understanding of boundaries. By respecting their privacy, you not only uphold an Islamic principle, but also model the behavior you wish to see reciprocated, fostering an environment of trust and mutual regard. My dear brother, my dear sister, let's turn our gaze inwards for a moment. The sixth profound reason to abandon this destructive habit is to channel that energy into self-improvement, prayer, and strengthening your connection with Allah. Instead of spending precious moments consumed by suspicion and the fruitless search for fault, imagine dedicating that time to purifying your own heart, to drawing closer to your Creator. The time you spend agonizing over a phone, you could be performing 2 units of voluntary prayer, asking Allah for guidance and peace in your marriage. The energy you expend on anxious thoughts, you could be channeling into acts of kindness towards your spouse, into heartfelt conversations, into building beautiful memories. The Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "From the perfection of one's Islam is his leaving that which does not concern him." Does spying on your spouse's private communications truly concern your spiritual well-being? Or does it distract you from the more profound concerns of your faith and your character? Focus on becoming a better Muslim, a more compassionate spouse, a more grateful servant of Allah. When you prioritize your relationship with Allah, He in turn will rectify your affairs, purify your heart, and bring blessings into your marriage in ways you never imagined. The external focus on what your spouse might be doing will naturally diminish as your internal connection with the divine strengthens. And finally, the seventh and perhaps most spiritual reason to resist this temptation, asterisk, true peace and resolution come from seeking Allah's help and strengthening the marital bond through proper Islamic means absolute. If there are genuine concerns, if there are persistent doubts that truly trouble your heart, then the solution is not to resort to clandestine surveillance. The solution lies in open, honest communication with your spouse, in sincere prayer, in seeking wise counsel from elders or knowledgeable individuals, and most importantly, in turning to Allah, the knower of all secrets. Make dua, supplication, with a sincere heart, asking Allah to remove doubt, to protect your marriage from evil, and to guide both you and your spouse to what is right. If there is a problem, address it directly with wisdom and compassion in a way that respects the dignity of both individuals. Our faith provides clear guidelines for resolving marital disputes, emphasizing patience, forbearance, and seeking reconciliation. To secretly check a phone is to bypass all these noble pathways and instead choose a path that inevitably leads to mistrust and animosity. Remember the words of Allah, and among His signs is that He created for you mates from among yourselves, that you may find tranquility in them, and He placed between you affection and mercy. Indeed, in that are signs for a people who give thought. This affection and mercy cannot thrive in an environment of suspicion and privacy invasion. Build your marriage on the strong pillars of faith, trust, and mutual respect, and watch as Allah showers it with blessings. My dear brother, my dear sister, I know this message might feel heavy upon your heart. It might challenge habits you have justified for years. It might even make you uncomfortable, and that discomfort is not a bad thing. Sometimes the greatest growth comes from the moments that shake us gently and force us to reflect. This is one of those moments. This is not here to blame you. It is here to protect you. It is here to protect your peace, your home, your dignity, and your relationship with our Almighty Creator. You see, the pull toward that phone is not just about curiosity, it is deeper than that. It is the illusion that if you just check one more time, you will finally feel at ease. It whispers to you that certainty lies behind that screen, that clarity is just one scroll away. But what if I told you that this promise is a mirage? It looks like water from a distance, but when you reach it, you find nothing but dryness. And the more you chase it, the more exhausted you become. Let me ask you something from the depths of your heart. When you last checked, did you truly feel peace afterward, or did you feel a temporary relief followed by even more questions? Because that is how this cycle works. It gives you a moment of false calm, and then it pulls you back in with even stronger doubt. And before you realize it, your heart is no longer at rest. It is constantly searching, constantly alert, constantly unsettled. And this is where many people lose something precious without realizing it. They lose the ability to feel safe in their own home. They lose the ability to smile freely. They lose the softness that once defined their relationship. And all of this begins with a small action that seemed harmless in the beginning. My dear sister, my dear brother, pause right now and look into your heart honestly. Not what you show to others, not what you convince yourself of, but what you truly feel inside. Is there calmness, or is there a quiet storm? Is there trust, or is there a voice that keeps questioning everything? That voice, if not controlled, will take more from you than you expect. But here is the beautiful part. You have a choice. Right now, in this very moment, you have the power to step out of this cycle. You can choose a different path. A path that is not based on fear, but on faith. A path that is not driven by suspicion, but guided by trust in Allah. Remember this deeply. The one who placed love between you and your spouse is the same one who is capable of protecting it. The one who brought you together is the one who sees everything that is hidden and everything that is apparent. So why carry a burden that you were never meant to carry? Turn your heart toward our Almighty Creator. Speak to Him. Tell Him what you feel. Tell Him your fears, your worries, your insecurities. He already knows them, but He loves to hear from you. And when you place your trust in Him, something begins to change inside you. Your heart softens, your thoughts become clearer, your emotions become balanced. And here is something that many people overlook. When you choose to trust, not blindly, but with awareness and faith, you are not becoming weak, you are becoming strong. Because you are resisting an urge that many people fail to control, you are choosing a higher standard. You are choosing obedience over impulse. And that choice, even if no one sees it, is seen by Allah. And every time you hold yourself back from something harmful, it is recorded as something beautiful for you. My dear brother and sister, your marriage is not just a relationship of two people. It is a trust. It is something sacred. It is something that requires care, patience, and wisdom. And trust is at the heart of it. Without trust, even the smallest issues become mountains. With trust, even the biggest challenges become manageable for something so temporary. Do not let a moment of curiosity steal years of peace. Do not let suspicion write a story that was never real. And here is something that may truly change your perspective. The peace you are searching for is not in finding answers on a phone. It is in building a connection that does not need constant checking. It is in creating an environment where honesty flows naturally, where communication is open, where both hearts feel safe. And that begins with you, with your decision, with your intention. Do not let another day pass living in this silent anxiety. Do not let your mind keep running in circles. This message is not just words, it is a lifeline, as I told you. It is an opportunity to step back, to reset, to realign your actions with your values and your faith. Reflect deeply on what has been shared. Sit with it. Let it settle in your heart. Because once you truly understand it, your perspective will shift, your reactions will change. Your relationship will begin to transform. And by the will of Allah, you will look back at this moment and realize that this was the turning point. This was the moment you chose peace over doubt. This was the moment you chose trust over fear. And you will thank me later, not because of me, but because you chose what was right. Now I want to hear from you. Do not stay silent. Share your thoughts, your struggles, your journey. Tell me how you are trying to overcome this habit. Tell me how you are working to build trust and strengthen your marriage through the guidance of Islam. Let this not just be a message, let it be a movement, a community where we support each other, where we remind each other, where we grow together. And once again, if this touched your heart even a little, type "I love Allah" in the comments. Not just as words, but as a reminder to yourself of who you are doing this for. As a statement of your intention to choose what pleases our Almighty Creator. May Allah fill your home with tranquility, replace your worries with peace, strengthen your marriage with love and understanding, and guide us all to what is best in this life and the next. Ameen.